Hi, second grade, Mrs. Carville again. We are here to do steps 3 and 4 in our writing process for the personal narrative. So I'm showing you mine so that this will help you when you have to write your next one. Okay, so make sure you pay attention so you know what to do during steps 3 and 4. Step 3 is peer conferencing, where you read your story and you kind of ask yourself questions, or you could read your story to someone else and have them ask you questions so you can add those details. When we're in school, we do a lot more of that because peer means one of your friends, somebody your age. And I realize when you're at home, you don't have someone your age there, but you can ask someone else just to ask you questions about your story so you can add more details. Okay. But meanwhile, we're going to go on to revising, where you answer questions your reader would have. So you think about your reader and things they might want to know, and you're going to add those details in there. You're adding those details and you're changing boring words. And then you can reread your story to make sure it sounds good before you move on to that next step. So what I've been doing is I've been keeping all of my pieces all together. So here's my pre-writing and then my draft from yesterday. Okay. And I keep it all in the book that I'm going to be doing it in, because my teacher needs to see all these steps. She doesn't just want to see my book at the end. She wants to see all the wonderful work I did to create this book. Okay, so I have my pre-writing. I'm just going to keep that in my book so that I don't lose it. And then when it's time to turn it all in, I have it all there. Now I have my draft. Okay, I pulled it out of my my spiral notebook. So now what is my job for today? Revising. I want to read through it and try to add any details that I want my reader to know. On a beautiful sunny day, I made plans with my best friend Renata to go on the playground at recess and swing on the swing set. Oh, you know what? I feel like my reader wants to know that this is an important detail. It only had 2 swings. So I would say it only had 2 swings, right? They need to know that as to why I'm so upset that her friend Carrie got on the swing set. Okay, something terrible happened. She broke a promise. Okay. I don't want to give my reader too much information because I'm going to tell them all the details in my body paragraphs. First, Renata and I came up with a plan to meet on the swing set at recess. I think they might want to know we had recess before lunch. I feel like I want to tell them that. We had recess before lunch. So that's why it's so important to skip those lines so I have room to add those details. Okay. Next, I like those transition words, first, next, then, last, but I could also change this transition word. I could say suddenly, right? Because sometimes you're working, and then suddenly it's time for recess. I kind of like that fancy word suddenly, because I want to change those boring words into fancy words. Suddenly it was time for recess and we bolted to the swing sets. I want to tell my reader how I was feeling. I was out of breath because we ran so fast. So I'm going to tell them I was out of breath. Okay. Then Renata and her friend, I didn't tell her what her friend's name was. It's Carrie. I need to tell my reader her name was Carrie, got on the swing set. Last, my new friend Becky came and comforted me. I want to talk a little bit more about that. I can add, remember I'm doing those carrots. It's like an upside down B to add things, right? I want to add that we played on the monkey bars together. Okay, I want my reader to really have like this movie in their head of what has happened with me on this day. That day started out terrible. Well, I know I didn't know if I spelled terrible right, but I want to use a different 5-star word. I'm going to use horrible. I don't know if I spelled that right either. So I'm going to say horrible instead of terrible. But luckily, Becky made it magnificent. We became fast friends and she always cheered me up. Whenever I was mad, she would tell me a joke. All right, I'm pretty happy with my revisions. I did revising for step 3 and 4, peer conferencing revising. I was thinking of what my reader might wonder, and I wanted to add all those details in there. Okay, next time we will go on to the next step, which is editing. So I can't wait to do that with you. Have a great day.